call right there, because even if Jussie would have caught the pass, he was 10 yards short of the first down, Dave. I don't even know if he would have been able to get it, but a big pass interference call.
All right, setting things up. Brown under center, faking the give. The first man through instead it was Desi Morgan, and Morgan gets very little yardage. There wasn't much room to move on that one. He's brought down after a gain of 1. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 14-yard line.
Tackle was made by
Gage Rainey inside the defensive tackle, making the stop for the Gators. All right, 2 men in the backfield, James and Desi Morgan setting up. Brown under center. Brown taking the snap, faking the handoff, play action, and it is Jason Nelson making the catch and taking it home. Touchdown, Vikings.
Wide open on the pass. They obviously thought they were going to run right there. Nobody covering Nelson. He comes right down to the goalpost, and he just lofted it up for an easy touchdown.
Check this out. Nelson just hauling it in. Wide open. Touchdown, Vikings. So now setting things up for the extra point. Are they going to go for 2 or 1? Let's trot out Clay Ivy for the kick. The Vikings took care of things. They did everything they wanted to do on that one. A 10-play, 15-yard drive, or 50-yard drive for the opening touchdown. Ivy lining things up, booted home, and to complete the job. The kick is up, and it is right down the middle. So with 6:04 remaining in the first quarter, the Pacelli Vikings are on the board. A 14-yard touchdown pass from Christian Brown to Jason Nelson. The Vikings have taken a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, really good job right there by Christian Brown, being able to find the open receiver. Great job, staying in the pocket, staying composed. And Dave, he was so wide open, he just lobbed it up there. It almost looked like he was not even going to get there in time before the defender was trying to knock it down, but he just wanted to make sure that there was no way he was going to mess up that pass.
Yeah, the Vikings, that opening drive, they were great. There were a couple of little bobbles there, nothing much, but for the most part, the offensive line has dominated in the trenches, and that makes all the difference in the world. All right. So it's time for the Viking defense to step up and do what they do. Clay Ivy will be set to kick things off for the Vikings. Setting up deep for Gatewood is number 2, Ben Brannon, among others. The kick is short, and it is scooped up on about the 10-yard line. That is Evan Bennett. Bennett hit, and he's wrestled down. That was Jaquez Morgan on the tackle on that kickoff. A very, very short return for the Gators.
Helmet-to-helmet action right there. That was a hard hit. We heard that all the way up here. Great job by Morgan in the special team coverage. And let's see that Vikings vaunted defense now.
All right. Gatewood will open up on their own 20-yard line here. 5:54 remaining in the first quarter. The Vikings, of course, have that 7-0 lead. Under center, of course, for the Gatewood Gators is number 10, Ames Johnson, the junior, who's thrown for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. All right, Johnson setting up in shotgun formation, taking the snap, faking the give. He has nowhere to go. A.Z. Justy charging on in for the sack. And just like that, the Vikings announced they are in business.
You said pony stands for horses. He got on his horse right there and got the easy sack.
He charged on in, a loss of 4 yards on the play, setting things up as a 2nd and 14 from the 16-yard line for the Gators. Vikings defense looking to make a statement here. Play 1 certainly is the kind of statement they want to make. All right, Johnson setting up in the backfield. Evan Bennett, the lone setback. Johnson rolling right, pitching it out to Bennett. Bennett looking to find some room, finding nothing. Gators bringing him down. Among the guys on the stop is Jaquez Morgan.
Morgan there knew exactly where the ball was going, and he just leveled the Gatewood running back for little to no gain, and now they're already in 3rd down and long because of that opening sack, and they want to stay ahead of the chains and not behind the line of scrimmage, and this is not how the Gatewood wanted to start their offensive drive.
Yeah, a pickup of 2 on that play, or a pickup of 1 rather. It says I'm on the 17-yard line, so it is now 3rd and 14, or 3rd and 13 for the Gators. The snap going up top, looking to go deep. The ball bobbled. It was in and out of the hands of number 5, Blake Calloway. Good coverage back there by Jaloid Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley was there. It looked like he was going to make the play and intercept it, but a good job by Blake Calloway going up higher to get the ball, but bounces off him. Good coverage by Ashley, and now we got a turnover. We're not a turnover. We got a punting situation for the Gators.
So the Viking defense taking care of business on this opening drive. Lawson Wooden setting up for the punt. And, of course, setting up to take the punt is A.Z. Justy. He is set up at about the 47-yard line. The kick by Wooten away, low line drive. Justy's just going to let it roll, and it takes a Gator bounce, but it stops. It rolls back just a touch. It is down on the 34-yard line by Mason Sinclair. So the Vikings are going to have good field position to set up for business on their second drive of the night.
A.Z. Justy, he plays edge rusher, plays wide receiver / tight end, and then he's also the returner. That's the kind of athlete he is. You don't usually see guys that play receiver or edge rushers being the returner or special team specialist, but he is, because he's an incredible athlete.
And don't forget, on the very last play of the first half last week, he blocked a field goal attempt. Then he also had that great leaping catch in the third quarter that set up the first touchdown. And well, he's done a few things this season, to say the least.
Yeah, and we'll be definitely playing at the next level. We can't wait to see that young man grow.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Vikings on their own 34-yard line. Brown under center. The pitch to Corvée James. James going around the right side. He is hit and pushed out of bounds after a short gain.
Yeah, he ran over the Gatewood defender. He just didn't have no room to keep going. I was there last night when I saw one of the Northside running backs truck a man for a touchdown. That's kind of like what it looked like last night. Great job just running over a man to get 5 yards.
Yep, it was a pickup of 4, so that's not too shabby because they strung the play out. They did a nice job stringing the play out. You got to give the Gators credit on that one. So it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 38-yard line for the Vikings. Again, Brown will be setting up under center. 2 backs in the backfield, and Corvée James set up on the side. All right, the give is to number 10, Jason Nelson. Nelson with a nice gain, picking up that first down. Let's move the chains.
We talk a lot about Corvée James and Desi Morgan. An unheralded running back that is a really good running back is Jason Nelson.
Yes, he has done a great job. He did score the last touchdown last game that really just sealed the deal. I mean, Nelson has run well. He's gained 412 yards and scored 6 touchdowns this season. All right, 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line for the Vikings as the drive moves on. First man through, that's Desi Morgan. Morgan powering, keeping on pushing. He is finally brought down. Let's see where they mark the ball. Sean Harvey with the tackle on that one.
Yeah, well, really a tackle, Dave, but more that he just got ran over and he just fell down on top of Harvey. Either way, Desi Morgan is fantastic, and I like seeing that big man rumble.
I tell you what, looking good. A gain of 9 on the play, setting up a 2nd and 1 from the 41-yard line for the Vikings. Brown again under center, 2 men in the backfield. This time is the give is to Nelson. Nelson hit almost immediately. He may have picked short of the line of scrimmage. There'll be a slight loss on that one. Evan Bennett leading the charge.
Yeah, Evan Bennett.
No, he did pick up the first down. All right.
Well, Evan Bennett definitely was in on the tackle along with a few other Gators, but enough to get the first down and move the chains for Pacelli.
Yeah, a pickup of 1 to set up a 1st and 10 from the Gatewood 40-yard line for the Vikings. Again, tight formation for Pacelli. Brown under center. James off the edge with the other 2 in the backfield. Taking the give to Nelson. Brown rolling to his right, throwing under pressure, and the ball is it picked off? Willie Ruley's in bounds. It is ruled an interception by Evan Bennett, his 2nd pick of the season.
Not a great decision right there by Christian Brown. For one, he was throwing the ball across his body. He didn't have anybody open, and to be honest, there were 3 Gators defenders around his intended target. Great job by Bennett going up and get the interception. Big-time turnover for the Gators, and I know Christian Brown's going to get talked to from this Pacelli Viking staff saying, you just got to throw that away.
Yeah, throwing into triple coverage is not necessarily a good idea. A little bit further, and you would have thrown it out of bounds. So you live and learn. So the turnover. And so Gatewood will open their drive on their own 30-yard line. 1:48 remaining here in the first quarter. Pacelli, a 7-0 lead. All right, Anderson taking the give up the middle, running into a large number of red jerseys. That was Evan Bennett going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
No gain on the play.
Leading on the tackle was number 23, Justin Sanchez. He came up, started shrugging his shoulders, saying, hey, I was in on that tackle, and another no gain for Gatewood. I don't even think they got any positive net yards in the 4 plays they've had the football.
Actually, you're right. You were absolutely correct. They only had 3 yards. They had a negative 3 yards on their opening drive. All right, setting it up now. It is 2nd and 10 on the 30-yard line. Johnson taking the snap, dropping back, looking to throw, forced to scramble, grabbed. He may have picked up a couple of yards on that before he was brought down. We'll see. It was a gain of about 2.
Jaloid Ashley in on the sack along with AZ Justy. He was over there, not on the sack, but on the tackle. Did for a minimum gain to make it still 3rd and long now.
All right, a pickup of 2 yards. So it's 3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line for the Gators. Pacelli defense has taken care of business so far. As the first quarter is winding down, 33 seconds remaining. We may have 1 play or 2 remaining here in the first. And timeout is called by Gatewood as they try to regroup after a tough second drive. The Gatewood offense has not been able to get anything going against this Vikings defense. As you mentioned, they have a -1 total yards.
Yeah, and it's a really good job by the Pacelli Vikings defense getting in. And now you're going to have 3rd and long. Expect, obviously, a passing down. Last time he did throw the football, it was close to being intercepted by Deuce Moore. So we'll see what happens here. Vikings going to pin their ears back and see if AZ Justin can get another sack.
Now, the one thing the Vikings have got to do is they've got to stay in their lanes, though, too. Johnson is a threat to run. He's rushed for 208 yards on just 31 carries. He scored a touchdown. He can move pretty well. Johnson also sometimes will be set back on kickoff returns and punt returns. So be careful of the legs of Ames Johnson on this one. All right, here we go. 3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Johnson setting up in shotgun formation. Dropping back, looking to throw, going up top. And it's incomplete. That was intended for Blake Calloway and overthrown. It came pretty close to being a little bit of pass interference there. The DB and the wideout kind of tangled legs there.
They did, and it was close, but good coverage by Jaloid Ashley, step for step right there with the Gatewood wide receiver, and another punting situation for Gatewood. They just cannot find anything going offensively here in the first 2 drives.
A second straight 3rd 3 and out as the Vikings defense is taking care of business. 24.2 seconds left here in the first quarter. The Vikings holding that 7-0 lead. Lawson Wooten back to punt. By the way, Wooten came into the game averaging 41 yards per kick. This one, a deep kick. Justy taking it on the 29-yard line. Justy turning it upfield, finding a seam, and look at him go. One man to beat. Can he find the corner?
Yes.
And he is ruled out of bounds. He was pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A great return from the 29-yard line by AZ Justy, but there may be a flag on the play. It looked like there was a block in the back and around the 35-yard line by the Vikings.
Yeah, and the thing is, he wasn't nowhere near AZ Justy. I don't understand why he even tried to do that block in the back right there. I don't think he would have made the tackle on Justy. So if that is the call, that is a huge one. Great return.
Yep.
We were just talking about AZ Justy. He can do it all. And there it is going to be on the Vikings.
That erased a 70-yard punt return, and it will push the ball back to about midfield. A tough penalty on that one. You want to do the job, you want to block for your guy, but you got to make sure you square up the dude you're hitting. That's what happens.
It was a blindside block, and it was a clean knockoff right there. I mean, he depleted the Gatewood special teams guy.
It's an understandable. I don't know if you prefer that kind of penalty. It's better than a bunch of jumping off sides deals too, because it's that's a matter of being focused. This one, it was just trying to do a little bit too much.
And I'm really surprised, to be honest with you, that Justy didn't even get in the end zone. I was surprised that he got pushed out. I didn't even see the flag because I was like, how is that not a touchdown? He had open grass. Nobody was near him.
Well, there was one guy who had a pretty good angle on him, and like I said, Gatewood's got some guys who can scoot. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 from midfield. Christian Brown in shotgun formation, fumbling the snap, but he does manage to get the give off to Corvée James. James breaking a tackle, taking it down before he's pushed out of bounds on the 25-yard line. That was Jackson Hewitt on the tackle.
And that's a good way to end that first quarter that was dominated by that Pacelli defense and offense moving the chains, and they're already in red zone territory.
Taking care of business. It looks like the ball will be spotted at about the 26-yard line. That would make a 24-yard gain for Corvée James on the final play of the first quarter. So we go to the break here. The Pacelli Vikings leading the Gatewood Gators 7-0 after one quarter of play. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. Alrighty, second quarter about to get underway. The Pacelli Vikings in Gatewood territory on the 26-yard line. They lead this ball game by a score of 7-0. The Pacelli offense looking good so far.
And the last play right before the end of the half, Corvée James with a huge pickup, bouncing it to the outside, and now they're at the 26-yard line of Gatewood.
A beautiful 24-yard run by James. I mean, he did it right. He broke some tackles on the way, too. He kind of made it happen, and that's what you got to do when you're a running back. But a running back with James' shiftiness can do that. All righty, we're setting things up now. The way Pacelli is setting up, it looks like Brown will be in shotgun formation with James, the lone setback, standing beside him at about the 30-yard line. Two wide receivers to the left. So that's going to make the Gators have to think a little bit. We're waiting to get the okay. All right, whistle blows. Let's get things going. First and 10 from the 26-yard line. The give is to he fakes the give to James. Brown, a keeper, taking it off right tackle, picking up about 3 yards.
Evan Bennett in on the tackle, but not before. Even Brown, he faked us out right there, Dave. We didn't know he was going to keep it, if he was handing it off, but good job faking not only us, but the defense out and getting a positive gain.
That was an excellent job on the fake. A pickup of 3, setting up a 2nd and 7. The ball on the Gator 23-yard line. Vikings moving the ball at will. This time Brown under center, taking the snap. The give is to James. James taking it off tackle, breaking tackles, and carrying a couple of defenders all the way inside the 10-yard line.
He was about to fall down right there, Dave, but C.J. Thomas, the nose guard / tackle, kind of helped him up from falling down, and then he busted through for another 10 more yards. Now it's 1st and goal Vikings.
That sets things up very nicely. A beautiful run by James. The ball spotted on the 8-yard line, so it's a 15-yard gain for Pacelli. Here we go. 1st and goal from the 8. Brown under center. The give is to James once again. I mean, why? If it's a good thing, you keep going with it, and it is as good as it gets. James taking it from 8 yards. Touchdown, Vikings.
Keep feeding the horse. They're having a tough time tackling him, and Vikings are showing their dominance here in the first 2 quarters. They're looking like they're on tackle.
They just taking care of business. You can see that line opening the holes, and James was not going to be denied. He dragged a couple of guys with him into the end zone. So the Vikings taking care of business on 2 of those first 3 drives. Both of those drives starting at the 50-yard line. One 10 plays, the other 4. And we're setting up for the extra point. Clay Ivy will be setting it up once again to kick it. That'll be out of the hold of number 9, Braden Hagler, with Walker Hilton on the snap. Snap good, down, and through the uprights. The Pacelli Vikings taking care of business once again. A 50-yard drive capped by an 8-yard touchdown run by Corvée James to take a 14-0 lead.
Christian Brown made the turnover in the first quarter, Dave. Bounces back right there. Great drive going in to score another touchdown. And now if you're Gatewood, you got to get a first down. You got to get the ball out of the hands of this Pacelli offense. Remember, Gatewood's only got about 20, 25 players on the roster. Yes. They're going to start getting tired, Dave. They're getting worn out. And then if their own defense is on the field too long, and a lot of these guys are playing both sides of it, eventually that's not going to work out for Gatewood. So they need a long, sustaining drive right here if they want to stay in this game.
Exactly. They've got either 6 or 7 guys playing both sides of the ball. They're good athletes. Don't deny that, but Pacelli's got plenty of guys, and this is where depth matters. All right, Clay Ivy setting to kick things off. Setting up deep for the Gators is number 2, Ben Brannon. And the kick goes deep toward the end zone. It is taken and dropped and then picked up by number 5, Blake Calloway. Calloway hit and brought down at about the 12-yard line. Great kick coverage.
Yeah, well, not a good job being able to field that kick, and because of that, he gets little to not much, and it's going to be tough territory now starting at your own 11-yard line.
Hunter Hall on the tackle, along with Braden Hudson and Jaquez Morgan. Good kick coverage by the Vikings. So far, they're taking care of business in all phases of the game. We got the band going here now, too.
Yep.
Well, there's plenty to sing about, too. All right. Ball set up on the 12-yard line of the Gators as they set up on their 1st and 10 play. The give up the middle to number 22. That's running back Hunter Johnson, the junior. He has stopped cold.
Great job again by the defensive front. Desi Morgan, another guy in on that tackle, and he just laid the boom. And if you start your drive every single time going backwards 3 yards, it's going to be hard, especially when you're not a passing team, to get ahead of the change. Like I talked about, that's what Gatewood needs, 3-4 yards a carry, getting ahead of it, making it 3rd and short. 3rd and long, that's setting up a recipe for disaster, especially with that defensive front from the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings are definitely going to have something to say about that. Loss of 2 on the play, so it's 2nd and 12 from the 10-yard line. That's Ben Brandon, the backup quarterback, in now under center. The give up the middle doesn't go very far. Stopped quickly by the Vikings.
Yeah, number 27, Braden Hudson, the middle linebacker, one of those guys that was in on the tackle right there. Braden, the junior, only 5'8", but he is not scared to lay the boom. And now, here we go again, Dave, 3rd and long. Deep in their territory is the Gators.
Yeah, Huddy's definitely he's a key, the outside linebacker. He's a key on that defense. He's done the job. All right, 3rd and 9 from the 13-yard line for the Gators. The Vikings looking for another 3 and out. Brandon setting up under center. Taking the snap. It's a pitch outside to Hunter Johnson, and Johnson finds the going tough. Number 23, Justin Sanchez on the tackle for a loss. That's his 6th tackle for a loss this season.
Yeah, Johnson made one man miss, but not the second one. Johnson cleaning up the tackle, and that's 3 straight drives now for Gatewood, and here comes another punt.
Yes, indeed, and they have a grand total of -3 yards in total offense so far in this contest.
Yeah, you can't win games against Pacelli, who's already got 14 points. They got more points than Gatewood has yards. That is not how you win on the road against the number 1 team in the state.
All right, Lawson Wooden set up in his own end zone, takes the snap and barely gets it away. A good rush. Justy decides to take it on one hop, and he is hit immediately.
Dangerous.
Good coverage. That's Gage Rainey making the initial hit for the Gators.
Yeah, that, Dave, I'm surprised he even thought about it because the ball bounced backwards. It probably would have went even more into Vikings territory. He had to come up and get it, and there was 2 guys right there. That could have been dangerous, but luckily nothing happened, and Vikings are going to start in Gatewood territory.
Yeah, for Justy's got good hands. He protected the ball nicely, and that's a big deal. So for the first time, the Vikings will open a drive in Gatewood territory. 1st and 10 on the Gator 47-yard line. Trying to see if they can punch it in one more time. Pacelli already out to a 14-0 advantage over the top-ranked team in GIAA Class 2A. Brown looking to the sideline. Lee Hamner sending in the play, setting things up. Brown will be in shotgun formation. Corvée James alongside him. James goes in motion. Brown taking the snap, rolling back, setting up a screen to Justy. Justy on the right side, finding a seam, and there he goes. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Vikings!
Great screen and good call right there from Dwight Jones and that offensive coordinator. Perfect time to call it. Gatewood thinks they're going to run it. No, let's throw a screen pass to the elite receiver and dynamic athlete, Nazy Justy, and he had a convoy in front of him. He probably didn't even need that with nobody being near him. Easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
Look at him go. Nothing between him and the end zone but stripes. All right, setting up for the extra point, and it will be once again the kick after faking setting up, going for two. Once again, Clay Ivy will be coming out to boot the extra point. Ivy's been strong this season on extra points. He's hit 13 of his He's hit 13 of 15 and make it 14 out of 16. The kick is true. It is good. The Pacelli Vikings taking care of business, ripping up the Glenwood to the Gatewood Gators. I was the first one did that. AC Justy, a 47-yard touchdown. Pacelli with a 21-0 lead in the second quarter. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. Welcome back to Dymel Field. It's kickoff. Clay Ivy booting the ball downfield. The Vikings with a 21-0 lead. The ball rolling to about the 8. It is scooped up by Blake Calloway. Goes to his left, finding a little bit of room to work. Calloway breaking it downfield, slipping a tackle.
Oh, my gosh.
It is Ivy on the tackle. A big hit. But it's a great return by Blake Calloway. Clay Ivy doing his Ray Wershing impression. If y'all don't know who Ray Wershing is, ask somebody who's in their 50s or 60s, okay?
Man, I was laying the boom, but that's the first positive, I would say, play that we've seen. It don't matter defense, offense, aside from the interception from Gatewood all game. This gets them in good position. Let's see if they actually can capitalize on it. Pacelli now having a putting their ears back, Gatewood starting in Vikings territory.
Now, you know what happened, right? He fumbled the ball around a little bit back there, and everybody got out of their lanes. And that's what opened the field up for that. And Callaway can scoot. He's a good ball player.
We've seen that a lot, though, in all aspects of football. It doesn't matter the level. Something like that happens a lot on returns.
Yep, it's all about discipline. All right, 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Ames Johnson back in at quarterback. The flags fly. I'm guessing somebody on the offensive line jumped. That's exactly what happened. False start by the Gators, so that will push them back to the 48-yard line. So it'll be a 1st and 15. They're good field position, taking a hit. You've got to be careful. You've got to be disciplined.
Yep, and again, what do we say, Dave? Doesn't matter if it's a tackle for loss or going back 5 yards because of a silly penalty. Starting behind the chains is not what you want to do. And now 1st and 15, that's as bad as going 2nd and 13. They don't need to be like that, and they're struggling right now for sure.
Well, they are definitely. I mean, after all, their offense is, they're at, minus 3 yards total offense. All right, 1st and 15 from the 48. The snap back to Ames Johnson. Johnson going up top, looking for Callaway. The ball batted by A.Z. Justy, and Jaquez Morgan almost makes the pick, the tip drill. That's why they practice tip drills. Good defense, though, as Johnson throws into double coverage.
He was just there, and it was actually in Justy's hands. He just fumbled it. Good job by the Gatewood wide receiver to knock the ball loose because, again, throwing that up for grabs to a guy that's 6'4" and can jump out the field, jump out the gym, whatever sport he's playing, that's probably not what you want to do as a quarterback.
Well, Callaway plays defense, and he had to put on his defensive helmet for that one. All right, 2nd and 15 from the 48-yard line of the Vikings. Ames Johnson is shotgun formation, dropping it back quick out to the tight end, number 15, Lawson Wooten. picking up a few before he's knocked down on the 43-yard line. Looks like Justin Sanchez in on that tackle.
Good job by Sanchez getting over to the sideline, limiting the Gatewood wide receiver from getting not much of anything right there, and it sets up again another 3rd down and long for Gatewood.
Yeah, pickup of 5, so they're back to the original line of scrimmage, setting up a 3rd and 10. Or no, actually they're one better. That was a pickup. That was a gain of 6. So they're on the 42-yard line. So it is a 3rd and 9 for the Gators. Johnson setting up in the backfield with 2 backs back there, both Mason Sinclair and Jackson Hewitt. Johnson scrambling around looking. He is being chased by a lot of red jerseys. He is brought down by Justin Sanchez. Hudson.
Well, either way, there was 4 Vikings defenders there, so one of them was going to get the sack, and now it's 4th and long. And Gatewood, obviously, it looked like they were thought about going for it, because at this point, they just can't manage to get even close to a first down. They can't even get it 3rd and 5.
Yeah, by the way, that was Braden Hudson's 3rd sack of the season. So that sends it back to their own 44-yard line. That was a loss of 14 on the play, setting up 4th and forever. So Wooten will come in to punt it away. Justy setting up on his own 20-yard line. And Gatewood calls a timeout to try to regroup after that mistake. So, with 6:20 remaining in the first half, the Pacelli Vikings carry a 21-0 lead. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. All right, welcome back to Diamond Field. 4th and 22 for Gatewood as they're about to boot the ball away. It's on their own 44-yard line. Wooten gets the punt away. AZ Justy looking. It calls fetches up way short of him. It is going to roll out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So the Vikings will have great field position as they open up their latest drive here in the second quarter.
Vikings have done whenever they wanted to on offense. They threw a screen pass for a touchdown to Justy. Brown's got 2 touchdown passes. They also have been running the ball very effectively. Corvée James did it all by himself, seems like, on one of those drives. It is 21-0 here, and they can start feeling that momentum heading into to halftime. They can go up by 4 scores already with only 6:09 remaining in the second quarter.
It's been picture perfect. Other than the 1 interception, the Vikings have done everything they want to do on both sides of the ball. All right, it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line with 6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Can the Vikings punch it in once again? We will see. Brown setting up in shotgun formation. James the lone setback. Brown rolling to his left, throwing on the run, and finding his receiver. That is Deuce Moore. Getting across the 45-yard line, getting close to midfield on the
It looked
play.
like it was close to being intercepted, Dave.
Yeah,
he
I
came
thought
back
it was at first.
Me too, and he came back and got the football. Good job coming back and getting that. Good pass, rolling out, and to his opposite side of his throwing arm, so he had to throw it across his body, but a good throw by Brown and another Vikings first down.
And threading the needle beautifully there. A pickup of 13 yards on the play, setting up a 1st and 10 from the Vikings' 46-yard line. Once again, the play being sent in by offensive coordinator Lee Hamner. Brown in shotgun formation, taking the snap, and the give is to Moore. Or excuse me, that's James. James with a nice gain there, going straight up, not quite up the middle, kind of off tackle. A pickup of about 7. Again, the Vikings dominating on the line of scrimmage.
Good job getting that push up front, Dave. the big guys. I've been really impressed with Andy Carter, Thomas Sims, C.J. Thomas, Clay Ivy, D.J. Horn. I mean, all these guys are just mauling people. They're pushing back the defensive front for the Gators 4 or 5 yards downfield, opening up huge lanes for the running backs.
All right, setting it up for as a 2nd and 3 after the gain of 7. The ball on the 48-yard line, or 47-yard line of the Gators. And the flags fly. Somebody jumped. Oops. Again, it's a matter of keeping your focus. So the 5-yard penalty will push the ball back into Pacelli territory, taking it back to their own 48-yard line. So that'll be a 2nd and 9 for the Vikes, or 2nd and 8 for the Vikes.
It's one of the few mistakes we've seen, a few penalties being called on the Vikings, Dave. They haven't had many of those. Aside from the interception from Christian Brown earlier in that first quarter, they have done a really good job being turnover-free and penalty-free.
Indeed. All right, the give on this one, off tackle, and that is number 22, Donovan Colvin, the freshman, with a nice gain there.
Running back by committee in that right, Dave. 4 guys that are getting love in this game.
That's right. Well, this is a chance to get the younger guys a shot at it, taking it back to the 47-yard line. So it was a pickup of 6 yards for the Vikes. So that set things up. A 3rd and 4 for Pacelli. The line to gain is the 44-yard line. Looking to the sideline, waiting for Hamner's call to play. Coach Jones also sending in something, I think probably a blocking scheme. Here we go. Brown and shotgun. The give up the middle is to Nelson taking it inside the 30, almost all the way down to the 20-yard line. A beautiful, beautiful run by Jason Nelson.
20 yards downfield before he even gets touched. Carries a defender with him all the way down inside the red zone, and Vikings looking like they're going to score again here.
All righty. The ball will be spotted, it appears, at the 22-yard line or 21-yard line. Yeah, it's at the 22, so it was a gain of 25. That's how you do it. A gain of 25. Pacelli, 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line. 22 yards away from expanding that lead with under 3 minutes to go here in the half. Brown in shotgun formation, 1 running back beside him. Dropping back, looking, pressured, forced to run, scrambles nicely, and plays it smart, throws it out of bounds, but, well, were there any receivers in that area? No flags fly, so I
think he was outside the tackle box, Dave.
So there you go.
I think he was outside the tackle box, so they're not going to call the intentional grounding. But that's a smart play.
Yes.
In the first quarter, he's trying to force that ball in somewhere, and it gets intercepted. You see in the maturity. You see in the I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm not going to keep making the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Great job by Christian Brown. Just throwing it out of bounds, nothing there. Set up 2nd down and 10.
Exactly. He did the right thing, taking care of business. He learned from his one mistake of the night. All right, shotgun formation, taking the snap. The give is to Corvée James, and James fighting. He is finally brought down by a pair of Gators. That would be Sean Harvey and Blake Calloway on the stop. They had to fight to bring him down. He was dragging both those guys a little bit too.
Now 3rd and short, and are they going to give it to James? They're going to bring in the big power back, Desi Morgan, or are they going to try to do a switcheroo and throw a screen pass to Justy? You never know with this offensive coordinator for the Vikings.
And they could run in this freshman again because he's looking pretty good too. On the snap, the give is to James. James taking up the middle, powering his way through. Does he break the play? The ball is free. It's ruled down. He is ruled down on the 1. He was ruled down on the 1-yard line.
And I don't think the turf can create a fumble anyway,
Nope.
Dave. So
no, he was trying to spike the thing, and what happened was he hit the ground hard and jarred it out of his hand. So it's only about the 1-foot line.
And if he was close, he would have broke the plane anyway before it hit the floor.
Yeah, there we go. See, yep. Oh,
it was close to be a touchdown, Dave.
It looked to me like he broke the plane, but
we need some replay here.
Look, our opinion doesn't matter. It's the guys with the striped shirts that pick it up. Anyway, 1st and goal from the 1. And the give is to the big man, Desi Morgan, up the middle. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, if they didn't get it there, you know the power back, he can get you at least a yard. That was a half a yard. And, again, that hole was so big, me and you, Dave, could have ran through it. Another Vikings touchdown. That's
Wow.
4 touchdowns in 5 drives.
That is beautiful. Don't you love the light show here on the Viking touchdowns? It's fun. All right, setting up for the extra point. They're in the 2-point formation. We'll see what happens now. Okay, Clay Ivy grabs the tee. He's going to trot out there for the kick. The Vikings up 27-0 after that great offensive drive. I mean, an 8-play drive, taking it 67 yards. Nicely done. A couple of push-ups is worth it, too. Ivy's kick right down the middle. Another score for the Vikes. The Vikes taking total control of this one, leading at 28-0.
Yeah, this is not how we thought it would. When we were talking about during the high school game day show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Dave, when we were talking about this game, we thought it was going to be closely contested in the first half. Did not think it was going to be this easily dominated by Pacelli. But I got to ask you a question, Dave.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an offensive lineman be a kicker? In all your years, Clay Ivy being the kicker for the Vikings right now.
There have been a few offensive linemen that can kick.
But it's an anomaly.
It is an anomaly. I mean, you got to go back to, say, I don't know, the NFL. You had Luke Rosa back in the 50s, before I was born, okay? But he was the ultimate kicker, but he was an offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns.
There we go.
Usually your kickers tend to be like wide receiver types.
I knew I was going to. You can never stump the Swobe. He's the Swobe of the Columbus area, is Dave Platt.
All right, here we go. Okay, Ivy setting to kick things off. And setting up deep for Gatewood is Hunter Johnson, along with, I think it would be number 7, Evan Bennett. All right, here's the kick. Low line drive, one hop. That's Callaway, who lets the ball roll into the end zone. So it's a touchback. Gatewood will open up on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted any more of those hard licks he's been getting on those returns, Dave.
Yeah, well, Callaway's also the one that – remember, Callaway's the one that broke that one. Of course, Ivy did lower the boom line.
Yes, at the end. Like I said, even on his best run, he got hit hard at the 50-yard line.
Well, he got hit hard. Like I said, I mentioned Ray Wershing, who was the kicker for the San Francisco 49ers back during the glory days with Joe Montana. And Wershing was built like a lineman himself. And actually, he got flagged a few times for illegal hits on kickoffs. All right, here we go. Ball at the 20-yard line for the Gatewood Gators. 1st and 10, deep in their own territory, 1:27 remaining in the half. The give up the middle. Looks like to Mason Sinclair. That goes absolutely nowhere. Justin Sanchez on the stop.
Yeah, Sanchez getting in there. He has been unblocked majority of this game, and that's why he's probably up there as one of the leading tacklers for the Vikings. And I want to say this, with 1 minute and 7 seconds as the clock's winding down, I think Gatewood's just trying to get to the half at this point. There's no point trying to drive. You haven't even come close to a first down, and let's get in there, regroup, and try to make some changes to get back in this game.
Maybe you try another play, see if you can get something to bust loose, but don't do anything fancy. What they're going to do is see if they can maybe get something. They want to get a little bit of momentum or do something right before they go into half. All right, Johnson is setting up in shotgun formation with one backer. He keeps it, and he is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Did he fumble? It's ruled down. The Vikings had some hopes on that one. But that was some solid defense by Pacelli. Getting hold of Johnson before he can get too far. Stopped on the 17-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play as the clock winds down. 14 seconds remaining. They haven't even started the play clock. I'm guessing that will be the final play of the first half.
Braden Hudson was in on that tackle along with a few others, including Justin Sanchez. And that's going to do it, Dave.
Yep,
dominated.
The clock winds down in the first half. And what a first half it was for the Pacelli Vikings, who did everything they wanted to do and a few things beside. The Vikings going to halftime, taking a 28-0 lead into the locker room as they take on the top-ranked team in GIAA Class 2A, the Gatewood Gators. Again, the Vikings looking good, 28-0 as we go to the half. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. Welcome back to Diamond Field, where the Pacelli Vikings are dominating the Gatewood Gators in this homecoming contest, 28-0. The Vikings pretty much had their way with everything all the way through the first half. All drives, almost all their drives, 4 of their 5 drives resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah, and Pacelli was efficient. Aside from one turnover from Christian Brown, they did whatever they want offensively. Great timing calls on that screen pass to A.Z. Justy. Corvée James was absolutely sensational. And then seeing the myriad of backs that they use for the Pacelli Vikings, like that word myriad, because there is a bunch of them. It is running back by committee. But I've been more impressed with that Vikings defense.
I'll tell you what, they have been absolutely tough. Now the offense, 237 yards total offense for Pacelli. And on defense, they held Gatewood to minus 19 yards. Let's take a look a little bit of the action from the first half. This is setting up the first touchdown. This was Christian Brown with the pass to a wide open Jason Nelson in the end zone. A 14-yard TD with 6:04 remaining to make it 7-0 Pacelli. Next time through, this is James. Or better yet, that's just Justin Nelson, a nice run up the middle as the Vikings just dominated. Anyway, the Vikings, of course, as we mentioned, did everything they wanted to do. Their second touchdown came early in the second quarter, 10:45 mark. It was Corvée James with a nice 8-yard run, and that extended the lead to 14-0. And then on the next drive, it was a one-play drive. After another one of those 3-and-outs, it was a screen pass to A.Z. Justy, a 47-yard screen pass down the near side that set it up, 21-0 Pacelli, and then with 1:23 remaining in the half, it was Desi Morgan powering in from 1 yard out to make it 28-0, and that's where we stand here at the half.
Yeah, it is, Dave. And offensively for Gatewood, we have the stats right here. -3 yards on the opening drive, 2 yards, positive game. That was the only time they had a positive end to their drive, just 2 yards.
Yeah.
-2 on the third drive, -13 on the fourth, -3 for a total of -19 yards. It has been a mauling up front. They have not been able to get any push. And then when they're trying to throw it, the quarterback Amos Johnson has had no time to throw.
Yeah, the Pacelli defense, they've actually dominated. They're seriously dominating in the trenches, both on offense and on defense. They've kept Johnson running for his life all night long when he's tried to throw.
Yet.
And they have pretty much smothered the running game as well. They've done everything right out there tonight. I mean, it's homecoming. It's supposed to be that way. I mean, Justy with that 47-yard touchdown. Oh, by the way, he was also the homecoming king.
Yeah.
Layla Wilson, one of the cheerleaders, is a homecoming queen. Congratulations to both as we get ready to get going here in the second half. Clay Ivy, Toe Meets Football. Second half is now underway. The ball booted into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. And so Gatewood will open things up on their own 20-yard line on their first drive of the second half.
Blake Calloway had the one positive play for Gatewood. It was a 45-yard gain. He's got a lot of speed, but even then, he was knocked on his butt very hard by the kicker of all people, the kicker for the Pacelli offense, Clay Ivy.
Yep.
I mean, he hit him hard.
It was a great kick return by him.
But then gets boomed.
But boom, it was over with. And so the Pacelli defense looking to continue the domination they showed all the way through the first half. So let's get things going. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Ames Johnson setting up in shotgun formation. Mason Sinclair the lone setback. The give is to Sinclair. Sinclair trying to take it up to the middle, and no, nothing doing there. Surrounded by 3 Vikings. Among them, it was Omar Kimbrough on the stop.
That's the first time we've called his name. Good job, again, by negating any type of forward progress from the Gatewood Gators defense. And they are hard to block right now, the big guys up front, and they're not getting any push offensively, are the Gators.
No gain on that one, so 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Again, Johnson in shotgun formation, looking to throw, rolling to his right, under pressure, throwing upfield, and it incomplete. It was meant for Wooten overthrown. Coverage on the play by T.J. Smith.
Great job by T.J. Smith, set for Sepp. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is, but miscommunication between receiver and quarterback. And he wasn't even close to that reception, was number 15, Lawson Wooten.
Dan Hewell, the referee, conversing with one of the other officials, and we'll see what he calls here. A personal foul on Pacelli. It's a 15-yard penalty on the Vikings. A rare mistake by the Vikes tonight.
And that's going to be the first down of the game for Gatewood, and it comes in a penalty form. Little extracurricular activities. He was, after the whistle was blown, he was still pushing him out of bounds. Got to keep your composure right there. No reason for something like that when you're dominating 28-0. But Gatewood able to get their first down of the game here in the second half.
Yeah, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators on their own 35-yard line here with 11:14 remaining in the third quarter. Pacelli with a dominating 28-0 lead. Johnson in shotgun formation. The give to Sinclair up front. He is hit immediately, wrapped up the middle. That was Desi Morgan. Desi Morgan wrapped his arms around him, wasn't going to let him go. Walker Hilton getting involved in the play as well.
Good job by Hilton coming in and making sure that he doesn't go anywhere. But you're right, that was initially started by Mr. Morgan.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from their 35-yard line. The Viking defense continuing to dominate this contest. Now, Jeff Ratliff's crew, you got to give them credit. They have not given up. They've shown a lot. They're showing character here right now. Remember, their roster is only 28. They only have 28 players. And Pacelli's roster is nearly twice as big. And they're playing, most of their guys are going two ways. They're still hanging in there. Johnson rolling to his right under pressure, throwing upfield, just overthrowing Lawson Wooten. Not a bad pass considering under pressure, but Wooten was definitely covered.
Johnson's not able to get his handle on the football because he's having to run for his life, and by the time he's throwing it, that's why you see those wobbly passes. He cannot get any control of it to make and then get his feet set to be able to plant and make a great throw, and that's all because of the Pacelli Vikings pressure.
Yeah, the Gators have not been able to come up with any kind of way to make any kind of dent at all in the Vikings. All right, 3rd and 10, 35-yard line. 10:26 remaining in the third quarter. Johnson, quick out. He finds Wooten. Wooten shoved out of bounds by T.J. Smith. We'll see how much of a gain. We'll see where they mark that one. A short gain, not nearly enough for a first down. It was a pickup of 2, taking it to the 37-yard line, and now they will be punting it away.
So aside from a silly penalty, would basically be a 3-and-out right here again for the Gators.
So Wooten setting up to punt once again, and A.Z. Justy once again setting up to return the kick. He's setting himself up at about the 27-yard line of the Vikings. Ames Johnson with the snap, and Wooten with a kick a little bit short, and it is downed by number 17, Sean Harvey, downed on about the 37-yard line. So Pacelli will be opening up their first drive of the half on their own 37. Pretty good field position once again. Again, the Vikings trying to expand on their 28-0 lead. 5 possessions in the first half, 4 of them resulting in touchdowns, including one long one-play drive, that 47-yard screen pass to A.Z. Justy. All right, Christian Brown setting up shop with Corvée James, the lone setback in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right, but in motion is Deuce Moore cutting back. The give is to Corvée James. James up the middle, picking up a few, looks like a gain of about 4, taking it across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
So we talked about Gatewood. They're getting about -5 yards every time they touch the football. On the flip side, Vikings are getting 5 to 7 to maybe even close to 10 yards a pop when they touch the football, and that is why it's such a lopsided score. Even the score, 28-0, doesn't do justice on the 237 total yards of offense in the first half for the Vikings and -19 for the Gators. That is hard to believe for a number 1 team like Gatewood.
Yep. A 5-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 5. Brown under pressure throwing and finding a receiver on the near side. And that was Braden Hagler making the catch. We'll see where they spot it. It's close to the first down.
Ben Brannon on the tackle.
The backup quarterback and a cornerback for the Gators.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, exactly. It's set up on the 42, so there was no gain on the play. So it's 3rd and 5 from the 42.
Let's see what Lee Hamner, the offensive coordinator, who's called pretty much a flawless game for the Vikings so far today. Roger Pritchard on the other side, he's been fantastic as a defensive coordinator.
Playing into the Vikings' strengths. All right, screen pass. A beautiful pass to John Thompson, and the freshman breaking loose for the first down, taking it into Vikings territory, tackled on the 41-yard line.
You can't see me now, but I'm smiling. You're just seeing a young man grow up before our eyes. Christian Brown patiently waited, set up that play beautifully, and a great drop screen pass to the freshman who breaks it for a first down.
17 yards on the pickup. That sets up a 1st and 10 for the Vikings on the Gators' 41-yard line. Christian Brown and company on the 4th play of this drive, trying to see if they can find pay dirt once again. Corvée James alone setback this time with Deuce Moore in motion. The give is to James straight up the middle. He's hit, picking, well, that was Joyson Nelson, but Nelson loses the handle. Let's see if they rule it down. See if he's ruled stop before the fumble. He is.
Yeah, it looked like the ground would have forced the fumble, which, again, that is not going to be called. His knee looked like it was down anyway before that.
All right, a pickup of 7 on the play, taking it to the 34-yard line. So it is now 2nd and 3 from the 34 as Pacelli continues to drive. Jason Nelson now the lone setback. With Deuce Moore again in motion to give to Nelson. Nelson straight up the middle, breaking a tackle. Another tackle, dragging tacklers with him, taking it into the red zone. What a great power run by Nelson.
Nelson breaking tackles, and I'm going to say this. You can't arm tackle the running backs for Pacelli, but the problem is Gatewood is so exhausted, you start becoming lazy. You talk about discipline. You start losing that discipline when you're exhausted, been on the field for a ton of plays, and then he just arm tackling a guy that you can't bring down with 2 hands, let alone 1.
Dragging 3 tacklers with him, taking it all the way down to the 13-yard line. 1st and goal for Pacelli after the 19-yard pickup. Moore in motion once again. Brown dropping back under pressure, gets the ball away, thrown away. He was looking for Deuce Moore.
Blake Calloway was in there on the pressure, and I mean, even if Moore would have caught it, he had a guy draped all over him. But a good job, Brown, putting it somewhere that only his guy was going to be able to catch it.
Yeah, Luke McNeil in on the pressure as well. So that was good defense there by the Gators. So it'll now be 2nd down and 3rd down and it is 2nd down and 10 from the 13-yard line. Brown looking for the play call, taking their time, letting the clock run. It's 6 minutes 37 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Pacelli with that 28-0 lead. Brown taking the snap and shotgun. It is the give up the middle. Corvée James. James dragging tacklers once again. Luke Wooten finally gets a hold of him. Kind of does a wrestling throw, stopping the play. But it's a nice gain once again for Corvée James, all the way down to the 5-yard line. A pickup of 8.
I've called close to 20 games this year, Dave, and I don't see many running backs that hit the hole as hard as Corvée James does. When you're running that fast with that much power, that much speed, I mean, most defenders, they have to embrace the impact. Instead of laying the boom to him, he's laying the boom to defenders, and that's why he's carrying people for 8-9 yards.
Running backs can deliver the blow, too, you know. Yes, and it's James up the middle and touchdown, Vikings! Corvée James, 5-yard touchdown run up the gut, and the Vikings have extended the lead to 5 scores.
Another huge hole by that offensive line. Great job by them, leading just a huge opportunity for Corvée James to get his second touchdown of the game.
He went in untouched.
Yeah.
They opened a nice hole right there.
He could have danced his way into the end zone on that
Well, he
one.
kind of did, actually. I mean, it is James. He's got those quick feet. He's shifty. Taking it to the house. All right, setting up for the extra point here. And it is Clay Ivy trotting on in for the kick.
There's some extracurricular activities going on right now, Dave. Gatewood's losing a little bit of their composure, as is understandable when you're down 34-0.
Yeah, it's frustrating. This is a team that just came into the game 4-0. They're used to winning. All right, Ivy setting up for the extra point. Out of the hole to Brayton Hagler, and right down the middle. The Pacelli Vikings, with the light show going on here at Diamond Field, have extended that lead. The Vikings, a dominant performance tonight, taking a 35-0 advantage over those Gators.
So at this point now, Dave, you've had 5 of 6 possessions. You scored a touchdown. If you get another stop here, at one point do you start letting the second guys get an opportunity, because you don't want no one getting injured. You still got a lot to play for. You're going to now move on to 5-1. You're looking like a team that's going to repeat as state champions. Yeah. When do you start putting in those secondary guys? That's the question.
Exactly. Probably next after this drive, probably the next offensive drive, perhaps. Because we'll be looking possibly at a running clock at this point, since the lead is now 35-0. That was an 8-play, 63-yard drive, capped by that great 5-yard run by Corvée James. Not just a great run, but some great blocking by that Viking big offensive line, taking care of business. Mr. Carter, Sims, Thomas, Ivy, and Horn. All right, the kickoff into the end zone, touchback. So Gatewood will open up again on their 20-yard line.
So, all the hype was for number 1 taking on number 1. We enjoyed doing all the pregame festivities. You got alumni here, but this is what you want for a homecoming type game, a dominant performance from your football team. It just makes the night feel so much more fun.
It does. Winning big at homecoming, everybody's here.
Yes.
I mean, come on, let's put on a show for everybody.
That's why you have homecoming on nights like these, to dominate.
Exactly. All right, so Gatewood setting up 6:54 on the clock here in this third quarter. Pacelli with that 35-0 lead. Now, this is only the second time the two teams have met. Last year, Pacelli won 42-7. They're looking to put on another W in this rivalry. All right, Ames Johnson in shotgun formation, dropping the snap. Who recovered this one?
They're saying Vikings, saying they have it.
And who is it came up with it? Is it?
Oh, they're going to say second down.
Nope, big number 99. That's Blake Daniel, the left tackle, coming up, making the play for the Gators, recovering that fumble.
Well, it started off bad because he didn't get the snap cleanly, does Amos Johnson. And then because he's having to rush the handoff, the running back didn't have a clean. And then by the time he even had the ball in his hands, he's getting hit by one of the Vikings defenders.
Yep, and the ball got booted a little bit forward, and it kind of looked like Keon Williams might come up with it. But Blake Daniel coming up with the clutch play for the Gators. All right, so it's 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. Johnson in the backfield, flanked by 2 running backs. Johnson dropping back, looking to throw, kind of a screen-type pass to Wooten. Wooten hauling it in, and he could have broken free for a huge gain. But Justin Sanchez with the shoestring tackle to keep it from being more. That was some clutch defense by Sanchez there.
Yeah, and that was a good screen pass set up by Amos Johnson, but there is a flag.
Somebody got down, one of the linemen got downfield. That negated the best play they've had from scrimmage all night long.
Well, it took a long time for the play to set up, and because of that, the linemen, that's not their fault. They don't know what's happening. They're just going after trying to hit somebody. And like you said, the first big play offensively of the game for Gatewood gets negated for a lineman downfield.
Yeah, it looked like it was Blake Daniel that didn't hold on his block. He released from his block too soon. So that'll set up a 2nd and 16 for the Gators as Dwight Jones's crew continues to dominate tonight. 2nd and 16, ball on the 14-yard line of the Gators. So once again, Johnson setting up in shotgun formation. This time a single setback with him. The snap with one man in motion, that was Callaway. Johnson chased out of the pocket, rolling, and keeping it, tucking it, taking it across, breaking a tackle, hitting again. A great run by Ames Johnson. Never gave up, kept pushing, taking it very close to the first down. He is brought down. We'll see where they spot the ball. They spot the ball on the 30-yard line, so it is a first down. Again, a great run by Ames Johnson.
And you know what? As bad as they're getting beat, I love seeing teams still competing.
Yes.
That's the main thing, showing heart.
Yep.
Because Gatewood's not going to have to face another 4A team probably for the rest of the year. When they play in the playoffs, they're not going to be taking on a Pacelli-type roster. That's why they're number one team in 2A. This is a litmus test to get them ready for their playoff run. Don't quit, and I like their competitive nature, but Vikings giving up their first down of the game.
Yeah, a 16-yard run by Ames Johnson. Remember, he can run. I mean, he came into the game with 208 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown, to go with his 5 touchdown passes on the season. So these guys are not going to give up, and they are approaching it now. This is a test. This is kind of a gut check for them.
Exactly right.
They don't really have a second string to put in there. These guys are going to have to gut it out and play the whole game. When you have 28 guys on a roster, everybody's going to have to play.
Yeah, it's not like.
And an update for you from Macon. Brookstone leads Stratford by a score of 14-0.
Oh, man, and that's going to set up the Pacelli rivalry in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Interesting. That one's not over yet, but Brookstone's showing what they've got, and we know they're a good ball club. All right, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. This is Ben Brannon looking up top, trying to find Callaway, overthrowing his receiver. Callaway had gotten a little bit of separation from Deuce Moore and from number 19, Tyson Copeland. If that had been on target, that would have been a big gain of possibly 6.
Well, you know how good of an athlete Moore is. He's got a lot of speed himself.
Yep.
So to see someone go by him like that, we talked about it. Callaway can run. They got some burners over there on the Gatewood roster.
They can do it. He proved it on that kickoff when Pacelli got out of their lanes and he picked up that 43 yards. All right, so we go 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Brandon taking the snap, dropping back, looking up top. Looking and finding the receiver, Hunter Johnson, for the big gain. A nice pickup for the Gators as they go a pickup of over 20 yards. The ball will be spotted, I believe, on their Pat Pacelli 49-yard line. So it's a 21-yard gain. Gatewood showing what they've got. They got some guts, and they got some talent here. The Vikings cannot let up. This is a good ball club. They're not deep in roster, but they have enough talent to hurt you.
They're deep in heart, and that was a great catch. Bobbled a little bit, but able to complete it.
All right, Brandon again looking to throw, going to the right side, and nearly picked off, almost picked off. TJ Smith had it, and it got it through his hands. He's not happy. There's also a flag on the play.
There is a flag, but it's one of that's one of those things where he was trying to run before he caught the ball.
You got to make the catch before you can make the run, because if he makes that catch, you're looking at a pick 6 probably.
Yes, and he saw that in his eyes too.
Oh, yeah. He was thinking, oh, well. All right, holding on that, so the ball's going to come back. The 10-yard penalty drops it all the way back to the 41-yard line of the Gators. So we're looking at a 1st down and 20 for Gatewood. 3:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Pacelli with a 35-0 lead. Brandon under center this time in a straight-up I formation. The give is it's a pitch actually to Hunter Johnson. He faked first man through. Johnson going around the right side before he gets shoved out of bounds on about the 48-yard line. It looks like a pickup of approximately 8 yards. Nope, it's marked down at the 48, so it's a gain of 7. So now it'll be 3rd down. It'll be 2nd down and about 13 yards. Second and 13 for Gatewood on their own 48-yard line.
So I see Johnson on the sideline. He doesn't look to be injured. Maybe they just want to try Ben Brandon at this point when you're down 35, let the backup see what he can do. And he's doing a nice job getting the ball out to his receivers.
Yeah, the sophomore's played a little bit this season. He has a running touchdown earlier this season. Brandon under center, again, I formation for the Gators. This time, first man through, hit almost immediately. A short gain on that play. A pickup of about 3. Braden Hudson on the stop. The ball down now to the 49-yard line of the Vikings.
So another third down and long here for Gatewood, trying to capitalize on their best drive of this game, and it comes 2:40 left in the third quarter.
Yep. 3rd and 10. But Brandon they've been gashing Pacelli a little bit on this drive. Brandon under center, again, I formation with 2 backs. He drops back. Oh, brother, he somehow escapes the grasp of the Vikings. The pass intended for number 4, Jaden Daniel, but incomplete. Jaquez Morgan and Walker Hilton there.
Yeah, good job by both those guys getting in on the coverage. Nice job by Brandon breaking out. He looked like he was going to be sacked there. Had a guy open for a split second, but threw it a little too late. Probably could have been intercepted. And if you're Gatewood, no reason to punt at this point. Go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose, 35-0?
Yeah, at this point, you got to just want to put something on the board with 2:20 left here in the third quarter. So 4th and 10 from the Pacelli 49-yard line. Brandon will set up in shotgun formation with Mason Sinclair joining him in the backfield. Brandon dropping back under heavy pressure, escapes the tackle on the run, sliding. He is hit after sliding, hit by Deucemore, who gets smacked around a little bit by number 24, Tanner Johnson. We'll see if a flag will fly on that one.
And he is not getting up. That was a hard helmet-to-helmet hit. I wonder if they're discussing if that should be a flag.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Brandon breaking loose. This is the previous play. That pass to Jaden Daniel, almost. All right, Brandon gets up.
So it is going to be a turnover on downs. Good job by the Vikings. Brandon had a little bit of running room, but not enough to get the first down.
Yeah. So to turn it over on downs, it was a pickup of, it was just short of the first down. They needed to get to the 38-yard line, looked like. Yeah, they needed to get to the 38, and they were just about a yard short. So, or the 44, they're at the 44. So Pacelli will start the drive on the 44-yard line. Some arguments now with the referees wondering why there was no flag on that play.
Yeah, he was sliding. And he
was sliding.
He was already down.
You could tell Moore did not want to do that.
No. He was trying to let up a little bit, but it was too late at that point. His momentum was carrying him to Brandon.
Yeah, I think the big reason was it wasn't helmet to helmet. He put his shoulder into it was shoulder to shoulder. And I was expecting a flag on that
Me too.
But there's not. No one was injured.
Thankfully,
yes. Again, that was inadvertent. This is the kind of thing that can happen when you're going full speed. Let's take another look at this play. Now, Brandon breaking loose. That was some nice running right there. Now, here you go. Brandon going to give himself up.
Yeah, no helmet to helmet. It was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it's possible he tripped, too. There was a possibly he tripped over the feet of Hunter Johnson on that play, too.
Yeah.
He may have been blocked into him.
I mean, I can understand the referee wanting to hold the flag right there. I mean, if it was helmet to helmet, it's obvious that's an automatic flag. But because it was shoulder to shoulder, he saw the play. He was obviously trying to let up. Just let it play. It's football.
If he was going full speed, see, right there was shoulder to shoulder. If it was full speed, that would have been a whole different deal. All right, 1st and 10.
There is a fumble.
There's a fumble.
The backup quarterback did not have the snap complete, and that is going to be a turnover.
Yep.
I mean, they were in the backfield in 3 seconds, it looked like, for Gatewood.
Yep. Robert Bello running into a little bit of trouble back there. It looked like he was going to attempt to give it to Donovan Colvin. Anyway, the fumble is recovered by Gatewood, and the ball will be set at the 37-yard line. So Gatewood's going to have a shot in Pacelli territory at putting something on the board here. That was the second mistake of the night by the Vikings. All right, minute 56 or minute 55, 4:54. The clock is running here in the third quarter. Pacelli with a dominant 35-0 lead over Gatewood. The backups are getting in there, so at this point, you know, sometimes there are going to be a few bobbles here because these guys don't get to see a lot of playing time.
Yeah, but then when you do, you don't want to make a turnover like
no,
that, Dave.
You don't want to do that. All right.
Now look, and there's
the
another
snap
turnover.
To Brandon. It was a bad snap. Brandon it was a little bit off center. Brandon shifted a little bit too soon, lost his balance, and just played it smart and just covered up the ball to avoid giving the ball right back on a returning fumble. So the ball's now back on the 45-yard line. That was a loss of 8 on the play, on the snap. So it'll be 2nd and 18 from the 45-yard line for the Gators. Gators are hanging in there at least. They're doing their best. They're playing for pride at this point. 55 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Brandon setting up in shotgun formation. Mason Sinclair the lone setback. Brandon looking to throw under heavy pressure by Justy, chased out of bounds. There's a flag. That was a hole right there. Brandon scrambling around, just heaves the ball upfield. It is caught by Callaway. But with the flag, that one's going to come back. But that was a pretty impressive play.
That looked like Johnny Manziel just running around like a chicken with his head cut off and throws it up, but obviously coming back because of the holding on Justy.
Yeah, but that was a great catch by Callaway, too. Watch this. Yep, see, there's the hold right there. That was
still staying alive, throws it off his back foot, almost a no-look pass.
Yes.
And then was going to be complete to Callaway. That would have been a Sports Center top 10 play right there, Dave, if it didn't have the holding.
Exactly. Lawson Wooten, the tight end, called for the hold on the play. So
they have playmakers on the other side. This is more about the dominance of Vikings, not Gatewood not being a good team, because you will see Gatewood deep in the playoffs for 2A.
Absolutely.
This is a lot to have to do with how Pacelli, Roger Pritchard, the defensive coordinator, and Mr. Hellam, the offensive coordinator.
Mr. Hamner.
Hamner, excuse me, not Hellam. Lee Hamner.
Yeah, Pacelli's also a lot deeper on the roster. They have very few guys playing both ways. Justy is one of the few. What you do is not that many guys playing both ways, where Gatewood is pretty much everybody playing both ways. Having a 28-man roster will come back and bite you when you're playing the larger squads. On the other hand, they know that, and they're just out there trying to make a statement, trying to improve. And when they get to play teams their size, that's when it pays off.
Exactly
because
right.
they've already been battle tested. Everybody's going through it all, and these guys aren't getting frustrated and doing stupid things.
Exactly.
We give them that.
When you're having to play number 1 Glenwood, number 1 Stratford, Tatnall Square, that prepares you for games like this. And so now you got a deep roster. It's got a lot of experience. It's going to help you when you get towards the playoffs.
And Gatewood doing the same thing. Like I said, they're getting battle tested themselves.
Exactly right.
Because whoever they go up against ain't going to be Pacelli.
No, we talked about it. They ain't going to have a Pacelli roster.
They're going to make, you're right, they're going to make a deep playoff run because this is a team with a lot of talent, just not a lot of numbers.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
Good 2A school.
All right, the snap. Brandon dropping, being chased out of the pocket, throwing upfield, underthrows the receiver. It was kind of, sort of, Jack Westmorgan was thinking about it. Hunter Johnson was the target on that one. No go there. Incomplete, so we got a 3rd and 28 coming up for.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel, Ben Brandon, he doesn't have any time in the pocket at all. I mean, he's literally, as soon as the ball hits his hands, Dave, he is running for his life. And the offensive line, as we talked about, they're not going to have to see defensive front, the big boys that Pacelli has.
Yeah, no question about that. So the ball's back on the Gatewood 45-yard line. It will be 3rd and, 28. That sounds about right. All right, and the clock hits 0. The third quarter is complete. And as the moon overlooking the field.
You love the moon, don't you, Dave?
Moon over Columbus here. The Pacelli Vikings taking care of business, trying to land themselves another victory. They lead it 35-0 as the third quarter comes to a close. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. All right, to the Straits of Enter Sandman, the fourth quarter gets underway. The Pacelli Vikings with a 35-0 lead over Gatewood. It is Ben Brannon faking the handoff, pulling up, trying to run, but then the whistles blow. There's laundry on the field. We'll see where this one goes. I'm guessing somebody jumped. Third and long. They're going to try something a little bit different.
I think it's third and a mile, Dave.
Yeah. 28 yards might as well be a mile.
Honestly, that's almost close to 30 yards too, Dave.
Yeah. The line to gain is the 20, basically the 27-yard line technically.
And they're at their own 40.
Yeah, so.
Quick math in our head.
Yeah, good luck.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I'll have to take my shoes off to do that one. All right, here we go. 3rd and 28 on the 45-yard line, or the 40-yard line of the Gators. Brannon taking the snap, driving back, going over the middle. Nice. It was a nice catch. The Wooten. Jaquez Morgan on him immediately.
Yeah.
He hung on to it, though. It was a good hit. It was a big hit on that one. So it was a gain, let's say, to the 44. So it was a gain of about 4 yards on the play. And that sets up a 4th down and, well, I guess 25. 24, technically. 4th and 24 from the 44-yard line of the Gatewood Gators.
Great job right there on the coverage, but Morgan, Brandon, who has to run for his life, it was just a quick pass, just trying to get the ball out of his hands, and hopefully they can make a play, but 30 yards was insurmountable for the Gators.
All right, Wooten back to punt. It's A.Z. Justy setting up shop at his own 25-yard line. Wooten, the snap is a bouncer. Wooten does manage to get the punt away. It's a low-line drive, so there's going to be no opportunity for a return. The ball stops and spins down on the 21-yard line by a somewhat frustrated Sean Harvey, who actually just kicked it, but the ball was already dead. So Pacelli will open play on their own 21-yard line. This is the deepest they have started all night long. Now we're going to see backups.
And that was the best punt we've seen.
Yeah.
And he's been punting a lot. He's probably got more action than anyone else on the Gatewood roster so far.
Yeah. It was a good punt. I mean, it wasn't high and deep. It was low line drive, but it was not. There was no way Justy was going to be able to do anything with it, and that, I guess, is kind of the point in the first place. Not to mention the fact that Pacelli will be starting deep in their own territory. Robert Bello, the backup quarterback, the senior, will be getting in there into action for the Vikings on this one. You're going to see a lot. The bench is going to start to empty. Some guys get a little bit of playing time.
So they got a bye next week, Dave. Then they got Brookstone, they got Strong Rock at home, another bye, and then on the road, Heritage and Westfield. 4 games that could be losable. They're not all games that you're just going to automatically win.
They're the
it's a tough schedule.
They're the ones that matter because these are the district games coming up. This is the last game for the Vikings before they begin the District 5 schedule. All right, all the backups are in there for Pacelli. And it's George Coleman setting up in the backfield as the running back. All right, Robert Bello under center, taking the snap. The give is to number 22, Donovan Colvin. Colvin off tackle, finding a seam, cutting back upfield, taking it down the far sideline, the near sideline. He is pushed out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. A very nice run by Donovan Colvin.
Dwight Jones and Lee Hamner are just pulling running backs out of their back pocket.
Yeah, I swear.
I mean, the future is bright. All of a sudden, I was like, all right, I got to know at least 4 guys. No, that's 5. No, I got to know 6, maybe 7 running backs I'm going to have to know by the end of tonight that are getting touches. Great job by the freshman bouncing to the outside for a Vikings first down.
Yeah, pickup of 20 for Colvin. So Pacelli now starts with the 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line. And among the backups in there, Jake Wood, the sophomore, at center now for the Vikes. He'll be snapping it to Robert Bello. Walker Hilton now in as a running back as well. The give is the first man through. He is hit. A gain of a couple. That was George Coleman up the middle, a power run.
Fisher Dillard, number 65, did a wrestling move as a tackle right there and just slammed him to the ground.
A gain of just 1, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings on their own 42-yard line. 8:04 remaining here in this contest. The Vikings with a dominant 35-0 lead. And the clock is running. They want to get the backups some playing time, but they also want to get this clock done and get out of here without anybody getting hurt. That's Thomas Persons lining up outside as a wide receiver. Bello, the little bit of problem with the handoff, and Bello trapped in the backfield, and he is brought down.
He is not happy with.
He's not happy with the handoff. The handoff, they kind of got crossed signals.
Yeah.
And Bello did not have a chance to do anything. Dropped for a loss all the way back down to the 37-yard line. So it was a loss of 5 on the play. And that sets up a 3rd and 14 for the Vikings on their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, miscommunication there, and Bello was just tiptoeing around, just hoping not to get hurt, as he had nowhere to go.
He just wants to see if he can do something here. This is his chance to play. To give this to Colvin around the right side. Colvin manages to pick up a few yards before he gets shoved out of bounds. And now a little extracurricular activity there. Flag fly.
Yeah, it was a late hit.
Yeah.
He probably could have held on to it. Nobody was hurt, but it definitely was a late hit.
It looked like Jackson Lundy of the Gators in on that one.
Yeah. Keep your composure right here. Let's not do nothing silly.
Yeah.
Let's not make sure anyone gets hurt, no one gets ejected.
Yep.
It's been a clean game so far.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty. So after the gain of 7, add 15 to that, which means add a first down. So the ball goes into Gatewood territory down to about the 40-yard line. So Pacelli will have a 1st and 10 on the 40, 7:41 left as the clock. We now have a running clock because of the margin here in this ball game. 7:30 remaining in this contest. 35-0 Pacelli. That's the scoreboard look everybody was hoping for here on a homecoming night.
Yes, this is exactly what you want. You don't want to lose on your homecoming night.
Absolutely not. All right. The give once again to Colvin. Colvin trying to go around the left side, going nowhere. He is brought down by Blake Calloway. Also in on the tackle, Colt Jenkins, the sophomore backup linebacker.
Fourth quarter, 7 minutes ago, 20-7. Brookstone leading Stratford. That's going to be another big upset if it happens. And everybody counted Brookstone out when they started 0-2. You never do that, Dave.
You can't. They have that. Brookstone played a tough schedule also.
First
I thought they were the best
Day.
0-2 team I'd seen in a while. So come on. So the next time out is going to be real interesting. Pacelli with that bye week next week, and then the battle for the Brucelli jug. All righty, 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. No gain on that play.
And there's
a whistle.
Coach Jones threw his headset off on that
Somebody did something. I think somebody lined.
Delay a game on the Pacelli offense.
Yeah, they let the play clock run out. Again, that's one of the things you have to worry about when you have backups in there. They're not necessarily used to the pace of play. Dwight Jones not really happy with what's been going on, so bring in a couple guys. Colvin's coming in, as is Braden Hudson, the middle linebacker, who's also a running back. Got a lot of action last year as a running back. All right, to give up the middle, first man through. A nice gain there for Hudson, the junior.
It was a pancake block by Jake Wood away from the play, but he just picked up a Gatewood defender and slammed him to the ground.
Yeah, the sophomore wants to go, hey, I'm going to get in here. He wants to make his impact as best he can. You don't get a lot of time to play, so it's like, let's do it. All right, pick up a 2 on the play. And the give, again, this time it's to Hudson. Hudson trying to take it off tackle. He's hit and brought down. He is shaken up on the play.
Hunter Johnson hit him right at the knee, and that did not look good, Dave.
That doesn't look good. He was hit, and Coach Jones is going out there, and I believe the trainers will be going out there as well to check on Braden Hudson, who picked up a nice little gain on there, but he gets hit and is shaken up on the play. The ball, he took it all the way down to the 34-yard line.
But I want to piggyback off what you were talking about, Dave. These young guys, when they get in right now, when they do film review, they want to be able to see great plays by themselves so they can get back in the game maybe, whenever they're needed.
They're needed indeed. All right, 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this contest. Pacelli with a 35-0 lead. You're watching Vikings football on beaviking.com. All right, back in action, Dynamo Field. Braden Hudson was shaken up on the play. He walked off under his own power, but he is limping a little bit. All right, back in action, and this time it is Dustin Sherman, the sophomore, at quarterback. The give is to Donovan Colvin. Colvin pushed out of bounds. Tackle on that play by Lake Furman, a sophomore, and backup defensive end. So the ball goes over on downs. On that, he was shoved out of bounds on the 36-yard line, or at the 34, rather, excuse me, and no gain on the play. And so the ball turned over on down. So Gatewood gets the ball on their own 34-yard line. So the Gators will have one more chance to see what they can do. 4:54 remaining in this ball game. Pacelli leading at 35-0. At this point, Gatewood is just trying to see what they can do, what kind of positives they can pull out there.
And what they can take away with to get some momentum. Try to score a touchdown, make you feel good about yourself, even though you lose in this game 35-0. Pacelli, on the other hand, let's get out of here with no injuries.
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about here now. Getting out of here, you've got the W lined up. Just make sure you get out of here with everybody in one piece. And for Gatewood, they want to build off of this. They want to get something going because, again, they ain't going to be playing anybody like Pacelli the rest of the way through. No. They'll be playing teams their own size, and they can probably do some damage against teams their own size. As for the Vikings, looking good, playing the kind of game they wanted to play, and this will give Brookstone a little more to think about. Brookstone, of course, winning their ball game 20-7 in Macon against Stratford, so they're making their own statement as well. That Pacelli Jug game could be mighty interesting. All right. Here we go. Gatewood starting off 1st and 10 on our own 34-yard line. Brandon setting up under center on the play. Whistles. Somebody jumped. The give was supposed to be, in theory, to Mason Sinclair. Yep. Somebody in the offensive line jumped, so they're going to push it back 5 yards. So let's take it back to the 29-yard line of the Gators. 4:42 left in this one. Just remember, the Vikings have, like we've been talking about, have been taking care of business. They're bringing that 4-game winning streak into this contest, showing that they have grown immensely since the opening game jitters and the opening game stumble they had against the team that's probably the best in Alabama private school.
Yep.
All right, to give first man through, that's Sinclair with a fairly big gain. I thought somebody had jumped, but I guess no.
I'm just be honest, Dave. As much as this game is over with, I think the referees are just like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's not do anything silly. Let's not over penalize teams when it's 4 minutes remaining in a 35-0 ball game.
True enough. The ball on the 37-yard line. And so that will be making a second and 7 here for the Gators. Brandon under center, taking the snap. Takes the handoff. It's the pitch, goes to number 20. That's Landon Marino. Marino brought down on the play by Cordell Thomas. Near the first down, taking it all the way down to the ball will be spotted on about the 43 or 40 on the 44-yard line.
These young guys that are getting snaps right now, like we talked about, they're trying to prove themselves. They want to get their number called when games matter, when it's closer. This is the film they need to prove to the coaches when they're reviewing it that, hey, when I had my time to shine, I did what I was supposed to do. See if the Vikings defense backups can get a stop.
That was a gain of 7 and a first down, so 1st and 10. Brandon on the keeper, taking it straight up the middle, picking up about 3 yards.
I also think Gatewood, they're not opening up the playbook here. They're just trying to just run the clock out and just, I mean, they would like to score, but they're not making it their top priority. I think they just want to get out of here and head on home.
Yeah, if they can do something, great. If not, they just want to get out of here one piece.
Yes.
Getting out of here one piece is even more crucial for them because, again, a 28-man roster. You can't take chances.
Good point.
All right, Brandon under center, I formation. Brandon, the pitch to the tailback, that's Marino. Marino, a pretty big gain, taken down, tackled by Uriah Mazik. A fairly big gain and a first down for the Gators.
Hey, nice job by the Gators. Their stats are going to look probably a little bit better than what it was because if you go just third quarter and first, second, and third quarter, Gatewood had basically negative yards. I mean, now with this drive, they're going to probably be back in the positive territory, plus territory, but still.
Yeah, a gain of 6 and a first down. So it's 1st and 10 on the Pacelli 44.
Big hit.
Yeah, big hit there on an off-tackle run.
Now, number 62.
That's Jake Wood on the tackle. Jake Wood on the tackle, a pickup of about 2 yards. So that'll set up a 2nd and 8 with 1:43 remaining in this contest. Pacelli leading at 35-0.
No.
2nd and 8 on the 42-yard line for the Gators.
I thought Diamond Field looked nice in the sun. It looks even better under the bright lights.
Oh, yeah. Brandon under center. Give to the first man through. Hit immediately. That's Mason Sinclair.
Also Jake Wood in on the tackle to complete it. And we're probably about 2 plays away, maybe 1 from this one being over with.
Yep, Jack Danley also in on the stop for the Vikings. These guys are in there. They're trying to make, again, the backups are trying to make their case, not for a little bit play this year and, of course, certainly for next season. All right, 3rd down with a gain of 1, so it's a 3rd and 8. No gain on that play. This time the pitch goes to Marino. Marino tried to take it around the far side, going nowhere. That was Mike Rowe on the stop. A loss of 2 sets it back to the 44.
I think we got time for maybe 1 more play.
One more play, 28 seconds. If they don't want to snap the ball, they do not have to. We will see. I would think they want to do 1 more play. Let's see what we can do here. 8, 7, 6. Nope. That's it. Brandon backs off as the clock runs down. 11, 10. They didn't even start the play clock.
No.
There was no point. And that, folks, is that. As we get to 2, 1, and 0. Cue the light show and put this one in the books. A successful homecoming for the Pacelli Vikings. The Vikings get out there and take care of business against the Gatewood Gators. The Vikings posting a 35-0 victory in an all-around great performance.
Great performance, dominant on both sides of the football. Efficiency, Christian Brown, he had 2 touchdown passes. Corvée James is being the lead back, and he was sensational. Desi Morgan got in on the action, and the defensive line and the big uglies in that defensive front for Pacelli just dominated and mauled over Gatewood. First half, negative 19 yards. I was impressed with both of them. This was a complete dominant performance and a shutout for the Vikings.
The Vikings taking care of business. Again, the two touchdowns by James, a touchdown by Morgan, Justy, Nelson. Everybody got into the act. The defense, as you said, they acted just like they wanted to, just complete domination. This is what they wanted to see going into this bye week.
Yeah, it is. And now, as we were talking about, Brookstone is beating Stratford 20-7 last time we heard. That is going to set up it's going to be a big game anyway because it's a rivalry in Pacelli. Yep. But this 5-game winning streak, let's talk about it, Dave. At the beginning of the season, you hit your bump. You get pretty much dominated by Glenwood. Many people said, all right, Pacelli's, they're an afterthought. This is not the same team as last year. They're not going to do anything. Don't ever second-guess Dwight Jones. Don't ever second-guess the Vikings. And they have been on a tear. They've been the hottest team in the Tri-City area, and they dominated tonight. Another win against the number 1 team last week against Stratford, just showing that this team's getting better each and every week.
Yeah, remember, Dwight Jones knows how to build a team. He knows how to teach his guys how to win, how to play, how to act. And he's great at building teams and building men. Now you got 5 wins in a row now by the Vikings, 5 dominant wins in a row, quite frankly. I mean, 15 points, 41 points, 42 points last week by 18 points, and now a 35-0 win. That's basically what you want to see. You're also seeing these guys develop a lot of confidence because they're going out there and doing all the things they need to do. They're doing it in the fashion you want them to do it. This is how you want to